Hey everyone, welcome back to Temple Rev. In this video, I'm going to be installing my first ever custom water loop for my GPU and CPU. I will be using EK parts for this build, with the exception of a few fittings here and there. Here is the PC that I will be installing the loop to. Alright, so the first thing I need to do is remove the GPU and the cabling. I will be replacing the power supply as well. I do need to make room for the radiators that will be on top and the front. So I will be taking out the existing all-in-one and the two fans I have in here. I may be able to reuse this one, but we're going to see what the tolerances are once I get the radiators actually in here. So let's get that done here real quick. Alright, so here's the vertical GPU mount. In case any of you do have the Fractal Meshify XL case, something I'll point out to you guys. So on this case, the vertical kit will take up all the horizontal PCI slots, but in the directions it showed that this was completely hollowed out from the start. This case, the XL version of the Meshify, I'm not sure about the standard size ones, but this is riveted. So we got rivets here, 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 all of these, and all of these attach to this back bay that the vertical kit attaches to. Now, that's a problem since your vertical kit here is going to need some sort of output for your display cables, but the horizontal slats were getting in the way of those ports. So for what I had to do, you can see here is, well, on this side I cut the corners of each one of these and then was able to push them out and bend the horizontal slats off, and this is where they broke nice and cleanly. Now, you won't be seeing the back of this, so it's not a big deal, and on the inside it looks just fine. So there is an option for a vertical mount GPU for this case built right into it. However, I found that it sits a little bit too close to the glass, and this will actually allow less room for, working your plumbing for the water cooling, and also that ribbon cable is going to be a lot longer to reach out that far, and I don't think it looks as neat that way, so I went with the other kit. Alright, so I think the first thing we're going to do is get these radiators mounted. This is the EK Coolstream Slim Triple. This one's going to go into the front. The slim version, just so I can have enough room to mount the reservoir and pump combo here. This build is actually somewhat based off of another video I saw online that was using this case, so that's what I'm basing this build off of. I will probably plumb it a little bit differently, but the idea is pretty much the same. I also have the Coolstream Triple, which is the standard size radiator, and this one's going to go into the top. So the two radiators should give me plenty of cooling for both the CPU and the GPU. Alright, so I'm going to get the fans and the radiators all mounted. I am using the Noctua NF812x25s. These are the black variants that cost a little bit more, but I'm going for the black and red build, so I didn't want the brown colored ones. So these will be ones used. Now, by default, these cases are meant to handle either two 140s or two 120mm radiator or fan combo in the front of these. A triple will fit in this case, however. Actually, one really cool, neat thing about this particular case, there's an option for this front piece to actually come up. And what you can do is just pop this out, which allows for a larger radiator and or fan combo in the front here, which is really nice. This Fractal case is just plenty of space and just really nice features. I really like this case. It may be a little bit tricky to get to the plumbing into here, but there is a lot of room, so we'll see how that goes. So I decided to go with the EK distribution block reservoir pump combo with the D5 pump on it. Like I said before, I am basing this somewhat off of another YouTube video that I'd already done the measurements, so saving me a lot of time. This case is nice because it does have a lot of space and options for mounting things such as this. This isn't officially, excuse me, the case itself isn't officially supported on EK's website for this particular pump combo, but in the other channel it said it did fit, it just needed one extra screw hole to be drilled in the back. So I wanted to confirm that, and it is true, it does need only one screw hole, and I will show you that here in a second. But anyway, this is going to mount right up in here in the front, right in front of the radiator, and it fits just right in here. I'll show you here in a sec. It fits really nicely in this case. It doesn't leave much room, at least next to the radiator, but it does fit. The only issue that I am seeing is at the bottom where the pump is, there is a bit of a tight spot for where the fitting is going to be next to the pump. So I believe I'll be able to get a 90-degree in there and then bend the tube around how I need to do it. All right, so the back side of this is pretty straightforward. You can see here, 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 and down here, those are all the screw holes to mount this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 holes that are already accessible that I can just bolt right on. Honestly, those 4 would probably be enough, but underneath that you can't see, there is another screw right above that one, right around here, and there's also one right up on this side. So it's an odd placement for where the screws are mounted, or for mounting on the back side of this reservoir, but it's gonna work. So all I'll have to do is just drill one hole here, at least to get this top one, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna drill this one either, most likely, because I don't want any kind of rattling or anything like that. Alright, so it turns out that I did not have enough room to have the fans and radiators mounted on the inside of the case, so I had to put them on the outside here, which did give me the extra room I needed, so that the fitting down below here is a little bit further away from where the pump is, and it gives me a better way to angle the pipe. Now, unfortunately on this case, there was a plastic mesh covering the hollowed out front section here, so I did just have to cut this out of the case, which allowed me to get that extra depth for the fans to be mounted on the outside of the case there. As you can see here, there's quite a bit of space inside in front of this mesh. And there you go, you can see them all tucked in. Looks really good, everything fit really well. So now we're going to go ahead and get to our GPU, the RTX 3080. I just have to get this heatsink and fan assembly off the card. And there we go. That was nice and easy. I also went ahead and cleaned off all the thermal paste and everything that the instructions told me. And now I'm going to go ahead and get started with the cutting of all of the thermal pads that will replace all of the existing ones that we just tore off. I also added a couple LED strips at the top here and also on the side of the radiator. They are UV LED strips just to give it a little bit extra glow. And here the case is completely built prior to the tubing. Some fittings have been added and everything is ready to go. Alright, we're done. The tubing has been completed. Everything is a nice tight fit and all the fittings have been tightened down. It is just about time to add our fluid. I'm gonna go with the EK Cryo Fuel in the blood red variant. I figured the red and black is a pretty classic but nice look. And with the UV lights in here, I'm hoping to get somewhat of a purple glow to it as well. I'm going to use this little squirter tube to fill the reservoir up. So I just have the power supply that I will be using later on in the build off to the side. All I have it powering is the pump and the fans as well. I wanted to test the hub that they are all plugged into. This part was really cool to see the fluid getting pumped through every time I turned it on and off. I think it took about 6 refills completely to fill the entire loop to get it running on its own. It was about a little over a liter of the fluid. I did buy 2 just in case, which I barely just got into the other bottle, so about a liter here it seemed. So here's the back side of the wiring. Not too bad. I've seen worse. I am using an Arctic 10 fan hub for all the rad fans, and unfortunately with this setup I wasn't able to get the USB 3 off of the top panel of the case. No big deal. Here is the final result, which came out really sweet. I'm really happy with how it looks. The purple and the red really contrast each other really well. The one thing I am noticing is the GPU block, one set of the LEDs for the RGB is not working, unfortunately. So I think I'm gonna have to get one of my other LED strips in there and see if I can't light that up. The emblem on the front of the case I had to break off later to fit the fans, but luckily the Titan rig emblem that came with the order of all of my water cooling supplies fit the case perfectly. As you can see right here, looks really nice. And here it is with the lights off. So I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments section. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.